katoa. My name's Temalisi Fakahokotau. And I am here with the Moreton Bay City Pulse, born and bred up in Auckland, and currently here for work.
Kia ora, my name is Tuivaiti. I also am from Auckland. I'm here with the Moreton Bay City Pulse, doing a bit of coaching, a lot of netball, but really happy to be here in sunny, that wet kind of sun, Napier, to kind of share our knowledge.
Cool.
Taloflava malolo sifua. My name is Pili Apulu, and I am also here with Moreton City Bay Pulse and also Family First Care, who are the kind of the business that sponsor our Pulse team. So here in both capacities to kind of just yes give, but also take a lot of learnings with us when we head back over to Brisbane.
Cool. So, what have you been up to since you came?
There's been a lot. We've done a lot. We've been in with one of the other organisations that are based here, kind of just learning a little bit about just the care systems in and around the Hawke's Bay area, and hopefully pick some things up with us for Family First. And then also one of the other highlights that we've been able to do is kind of go into one of the kuras yesterday and do some netball drills and netball skills with some of the tamariki there, and then again today over out in the Hawke's Bay netball courts. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, so I sit in that netball space, so because we are sponsored, our main sponsor is Family First, we've come over with the organisation, but my job here, my role here is to share our netball knowledge. We're very lucky, Temalisi and I, to have played a lot of netball for a lot of years, so we're over here sharing what we know and what we've learnt over the years of being in that netball space and really giving back to small towns like this, because we really love what netball has done for us as women and as athletes. So to make sure that we use netball as our vehicle to share some stuff and help these kids get an opportunity just to have some fun and to accidentally learn some stuff along the way. So yeah, I sit in that netball space, but again, like Billy said, we're just learning everywhere we go, about being home, being on home soil. Okay,
so I'm going to jump in here because there's something obvious you haven't said, any of you. You represented New Zealand for netball.
Wait,
come on,
it's Tim's turn. She was going to sing all of our praises.
Yeah, but I heard you guys this morning not say it either. So, this is what interests me is why so humble?
Humble.
Why are you so humble?
Are you humble too?
I am, girl. I guess for me, like, it's probably my upbringing. Like, obviously Tongan descent, born and raised here, but I think it is like, when I come from a Tongan culture, it is like we are, on the same level here, like nobody's better than. It's not necessarily that, but we just, it's the tall poppy syndrome that we have here, so. Yeah.
I'm terrified these kids have no idea who the heck I am and where I've been and what I've done, so I try and dodge that bullet.
Right.
Like, who are you, lady? Why are you telling us what to do? So I stand pretty strong in what I've done and what I've been through to get to be in a position to do what I did all around the world, but my job now is to share. So my job is to give whatever I learnt, because it doesn't belong to me, so it's not for me to hold on to. So at some point I got to pass it on. But if they test me, then I'll tell them exactly who I am. So I guess I need to be pushed, just like you pushed.
Yeah.
It worked.
I'm pretty much a mixture of the two. Humility is massive, I think, in a lot of our Pacific and Māori cultures. So it's kind of something that just is instilled with you. You don't sing your own praises, otherwise you come across the opposite. And then also, New Zealand men's isn't really a well-known, or New Zealand, I played New Zealand mix and Samoa mix. It's not very a well-known team. So, you're like, I played New Zealand mix. They're like, oh, do we have a team? Hence why I don't really brag about it, but it's also quite an achievement. So
absolutely. And you know what? This is why I'm nervous. I've got 3 superstars in my studio today, 3 sporting superstars, and I want them to know that I'm lucky enough to be able to talk to you guys today. So, what's your best memories of representing New Zealand? Just one each.
I think for me, it was probably my debut back up in Auckland, actually having my whānau there with me. Took me a little bit to get there, but it was definitely, that was probably it, making it into the Silver Ferns. I think back when I was younger, I didn't really understand what it was. And for me, I didn't actually tell my parents that I made it. They actually found out through the news and through my cousins, because I didn't know how much of a big deal it actually was back then. So I think them actually seeing me in the black dress was massive for me. Yeah.
So I've been playing so long that I've been very different versions of myself every time I've played. I've played for 3 countries internationally. I played for Samoa first when I was younger, and I went to Commonwealth Games and World Cup. And then I became a Silver Fern, which was every young girl's dream. So that was huge. But then I most recently got to play for Tonga just before I retired. So in those 3 seasons, I was 3 very different women. I was a child, and then I was just an animal possessed because I needed to wear that Silver Ferns dress. So I fought my way to get that. And then I thought I had a little bit more left in me, and I was also a mother. So to come back for Tonga and represent my dad and my people, that was unreal. So they all meant different things to me because I was very different at all those different stages. So I kept fighting back because I knew I had a little bit left. But once I finished with that Tongan dress, I knew. I didn't know what that feeling felt like. I think I've retired about 8 times because I said it out loud. I thought it meant something. It didn't until I knew.
Yep.
And now I can let it go and I can share my knowledge a different way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit of both again. Yeah, just in the middle of them. But I think, my greatest memory playing for New Zealand was definitely beating the Australians. I think there's nothing better than beating the Australians, even now being in the Australian system. That's always got to be a highlight. But man, I think these guys will probably be able to vouch as well. When you hear the national anthem playing, it's always got to be a highlight. And you don't really understand it until you're in the moment, and then you're like, holy hiccup, why am I crying? And it's because you start thinking of your journey there, and your family that's behind you, and all your friends and stuff, and all the sacrifices that you had to make to be able to get there, which also is probably my greatest highlight for playing for Samoa, which is I'm a hearty Samoan. I rep the 685 as much as I can, and wherever I can. Today at one of the trainings, one of the boys had a Samoa shirt, so I had to stop the whole thing, all 50 students, and ask him, "Are you Samoan?" But yeah, I bleed blue, and so to be able to wear the blue as well is such a highlight in itself.
Cool. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. The Commonwealth Games is coming up. What do you rate New Zealand chances?
What? Why is it? Because you know I'm going to say something spicy, and I'm going to get us all in trouble.
Keep going, Nick.
Listen, you know what scares me is that there's still potential to do it because Nolene Tautua is just an absolute magician. So it scares me because I know what she can do, but I also know what she's been up against as of late, up against Netball New Zealand. She doesn't have a lot of time to create her magic. She doesn't have a lot of time to get that group together to be strong enough to take on the rest of the world. But I wouldn't put it past her because as crazy as she seems, she always knows what to do in the right moment. So I am going to back her because I think she's just loco enough to do it for our country. But it's going to be so hard. So I want her, because she put her mana on hold. We thought she should have run when Netball New Zealand came for her. I was asking for her to run. I was like, you got to get out of there, man. But she held on because I think she knows who she is. She knows what she can do. She got a lot of those strong traits from her father. And so she held on because she knows that she can take that group of girls and represent the rest of us well. So I'm going to back Auntie Knowles.
Oh, nice. Anyone else? Want to dare say anything?
Yeah, no, I 100% back Auntie Knowles as well. I mean, it'll be quite interesting to see how they go. You never underestimate how people play when they put on the black dress or when they put on the fern. Like they, like she said, become an animal possessed. Like you will do whatever it takes, not just to get into it or fight for the starting position, but just to win. And to have someone like her at the helm, everything's possible. Also, I just want to be like, the other day we were just listening to when I was at the 2019 World Cup, and I got to watch the Ferns make history and win, and we were just laughing about how wild I went. Like, it wasn't even it was just pure yelling, but I want to do that again. Like, I want to do that again after the Commonwealth Games. So, yeah, let's go for it.
For those that don't remember, Nolene was not in charge of the team 6 months earlier. She got the job back after New Zealand had one of their worst results to date and did not get a medal at the Commonwealth Games since netball was ever involved in the Commonwealth Games. We came away with nothing, not even a bronze. Nolene took over, and in 6 months, she won us a gold medal. So we know she can do this, but I think her challenges got bigger. But there's no one else that can actually do something that ridiculous except her.
Very cool. So you've been working with rangatahi over the last couple of days. If you've got any advice to pass on to our up-and-coming netball players, what would it be from each of you?
I think that there really is no specific shape or style or expertise to be good at netball. I think sometimes we put up against a roadblock because we don't look or play or sound or act like certain people, and that shouldn't be it. I think we need to be a little bit better at building our kids up and giving them the opportunity to play netball, because I'm going to use netball as my vehicle because that's the one that changed my life. I think it wasn't just about netball, it's about who you can make them. You can make them resilient and strong, and you can remind them they can do hard things. So it might just be a game to some, but there could be some kid who doesn't think they have anything, and they use netball to learn a lot about themselves. So I think we're pretty powerful as adults, which is why we need to share what we've got. We've gone through hard things ourselves to get to the top, and it would just be a waste if we didn't share just how hard it's going to be, or to arm them with some stuff they can use, not just as athletes but as humans, as people. So I think we're responsible for that. Like I said earlier, we know so much, we've learnt so much, but it doesn't belong to us.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just going off what Katie said, it is like backing up our kids, because it does start from home first, and the encouragement through that as well. We'll push our kids to give the sport a go. I think netball is low-key kind of fading a little bit here, so I think it's the encouragement that we need to give to our little ones to continue to go and give it a go, play hard, get out there and enjoy it with your friends. But netball can honestly change your lives. As Katie said, it's done so much for us. We've gone to places that we never imagined that we would go to. Katie's played in UK. I did a stint there too, but we
get around a little.
Yeah, it gives you opportunities that you may not potentially think of.
Awesome.
So it is kind of thinking bigger in that aspect as well. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think for me specifically, boys netball is so awesome to see the growth in it. So my advice that I'd probably give our young males is that it's not, it's quite obvious now, but it's no longer just a female sport. I think growing up in a space where it was predominantly female, and still is now, but the opportunities were very scarce. Now there's opportunities to be able to play in teams like the Pulse. And so you can actually widen your horizons a little bit, and not to stop and choose a sport so young, the cross sport or cross codes is such a great thing to have for as long as you can as a young athlete. And so not having to stop and choose, oh, I'm only going to do basketball, because you can translate some of those basketball skills into netball, which is probably one of the challenges that a lot of my young boys, when I was coaching in Tamaki, that they had to come across, was they thought they had to pick a sport quite early, and so no, I had to do tag, or I had to do, well, yeah, you can, but you can also do netball, and you can bring across some of those skills as well. And so, yeah, my advice is not to close yourself off to the opportunities that netball can provide as a male in the sport.